The Las Vegas Raiders just made a decision so bold, so unexpected, that even the sharpest analysts in the building did not see it coming. And if you think you already know what it is, you don't. Stick around, because by the end of this, everything you thought you knew about this franchise is going to look completely different. Before we break all of this down, smash that subscribe button right now if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. We don't waste your time. Let's get into it. Taron Johnson goes absent, and the reason is all about money. Here is the thing about voluntary preseason workouts. The word voluntary usually means players show up anyway, because missing them sends a message. So when 29-year-old cornerback Taron Johnson did not walk through those doors, every person inside that organization started asking the same question. Why? The answer is money. Pure and simple. According to journalist Vincent Bonga, Johnson's absence is not a rest day, not a personal matter. It is a deliberate, firm statement driven entirely by his contract situation. NFL trade analyst Wyatt Grindley added that the tension has been building since the latest market numbers came out, and right now, things are at a boiling point. To understand why Johnson feels the way he does, you need to go back to the beginning. He came into the league as a fourth-round pick in the 2018 draft out of Weber State University. Not a marquee name. Not a guaranteed star. He earned everything the hard way. He stood out enough to earn a 3-year, $24 million contract extension, and then in 2024, he signed again, another 3 years, $31 million. In early March, the Raiders pulled off a smart trade to bring him in, also landing 6th and 7th round draft picks in the deal. Here is where it gets ugly. Despite being projected to earn around $18 million across the 2026 and 2027 seasons combined, not a single dollar of that money is guaranteed. Not 1 cent. And after putting his body on the line in 13 games last season, racking up 57 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 4 pass breakups, Johnson is done proving himself for free. He wants security. He wants a deal that actually protects him if something goes wrong on that field. Is that really too much to ask from a player who has delivered every single time? Comment challenge. Who is to blame here, the Raiders front office, or is Johnson's timing just bad? Drop a name below. The clock is ticking on this negotiation. But wait until you hear what is happening with the quarterback situation, because the media just declared war on the Raiders' entire future. Quarterback controversy Fernando Mendoza is already under fire, and the season hasn't even started. The Raiders walked into this offseason with serious momentum. They held the #1 overall pick in the draft. They carry one of the most iconic brands in all of sports. And they selected Fernando Mendoza to be the face of the franchise going forward. On paper, that sounds like the beginning of something special. Then the NFL released its official schedule, and it was a gut punch straight to the chest of Raiders Nation. Zero primetime games in the initial release. Not one nationally televised slot to show off their new quarterback to the entire country. The reaction from the media was immediate, and it was vicious. Fox Sports radio analyst Rob Parker went on the Odd Couple program and unloaded without holding back a single word. Parker's take: Mendoza is going to be a complete failure in this league. He argued that the NFL's scheduling decision is not a coincidence. It is the league itself signaling that it has no faith in what this young quarterback can do on a big stage. Parker kept going, attacking team management directly and stating that legend Tom Brady, who is involved with the franchise, does not know what he is doing and is actively damaging the Raiders' historic legacy. Parker also raised a point that stung a little differently. He suggested that Mendoza only landed the top pick because this was considered a weak quarterback class, one that scouts described as a battleground. In a stronger draft year, Parker claimed, Mendoza would have been the 5th or 6th option at the position, not the 1st. Now, not everyone agrees with Parker's scorched earth take. Some analysts pointed out that with veteran Kirk Cousins also on the roster, there was genuine uncertainty about whether Mendoza would even start immediately, which could explain the league's conservative scheduling approach. Former Raiders offensive lineman Lincoln Kennedy gave the most grounded perspective of all. Kennedy reminded everyone that the team had a rough run during last season's primetime appearances, getting handled badly against both the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers. In Kennedy's view, the Raiders need to earn their way back onto national television through performance. Not promises, not hype, not big names. Just wins. But if you think the quarterback drama is the biggest storm brewing over Las Vegas, you are not even close. What is happening with the Raiders' defensive superstar could flip this entire franchise upside down, and 3 teams are already circling like sharks. The Max Crosby bombshell. The trade rumors around Max Crosby are real, and 3 teams are ready to pounce. Max Crosby is not just a football player. He is the Raiders. He is the heartbeat of that defense, the guy opponents have to game plan around from the moment film study begins. At just 28 years old, he is in the prime of his career, and the idea of him wearing a different uniform is almost too painful for Raiders fans to even think about. But journalist Caleb Hightower says the league's backrooms are buzzing with serious trade talk. Here is the terrifying part. According to respected Sports Illustrated reporter Albert Bree, both the Raiders organization and Crosby himself genuinely want to stay together and build something real in Las Vegas. There is no bad blood. There is no drama between player and team. The problem is math. Bree painted a nightmare scenario that no Raiders fan wants to imagine. Picture this. The Raiders start the 2026 season and through 9 games, they have just 1 win on the board. 1 win and 8 losses. Even if Crosby is out there every single Sunday playing at an absolutely insane level, racking up sacks, tackles for loss, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks all game long, the damage might already be done. In a lost season, the front office would not need to put Crosby on the market. They wouldn't even have to make a phone call. The calls would flood in on their own. Teams desperate for a dominant edge rusher would be offering pick packages so rich that the Raiders board would be forced to at least sit down and listen. And listening, in the NFL, is often where trades begin. 3 franchises are already linked to Crosby by name. The Philadelphia Eagles are actively trying to rebuild their defensive line after losing key pieces in free agency. The Chicago Bears faced relentless quarterback pressure last season and see Crosby as a defense-transforming acquisition. But the most aggressive move, that could come from the Los Angeles Rams. According to Nate Atkins of The Athletic, the Rams are reportedly prepared to send a first-round pick in the 2027 draft to Las Vegas during the season if they decide Crosby is the missing piece for a Super Bowl run. Trading Max Crosby would not just cost the Raiders a great player. It would cost them their identity, their toughness, the thing that makes opposing offenses nervous walking into Allegiant Stadium. And yet, if the losses pile up and the offers get rich enough, even the unthinkable becomes thinkable in this league. The Raiders need to respond on the field. They need wins. They need to make these trade rumors irrelevant by burying them under a mountain of results, because the alternative is a fire sale that no true Raiders fan ever wants to see. So there you have it. 3 massive storylines, 1 franchise, and a 2026 season that could go in completely opposite directions depending on how each of these situations resolves. Taron Johnson needs a contract that actually protects him. Fernando Mendoza needs to silence every critic with his play on the field. And Max Crosby needs his teammates to win enough games that nobody has to make a phone call that changes Raiders history forever. Which one of these 3 situations worries you the most heading into the season? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if this breakdown gave you something to think about, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a single update. The Raiders story is just getting started.